I'm Scott Cooper. I'm the partner and managing attorney for the Troy offices of Fragum, Delray, Burnson, and Lowy here in Michigan. This is a really challenging time for Michigan. Our economy needs any kind of assistance that we can get, and one of the ways that we can start to develop the Michigan economy is to grow small and mid-sized businesses, and part of that is to bring in entrepreneurs and investors, including those from abroad. There are mechanisms to do that in our law now, but they don't really meet the needs of the smaller and more entrepreneurial investors who bring in and create businesses, small businesses, mid-sized businesses, which create jobs for Michigan. It's a terrific opportunity, but we need to change our immigration laws to better accommodate these types of investors. If we're to succeed here in Michigan, we have to turn to technology, biochem, other industries, and grow them as we have started to. And the ideas and the capital can flow in to Southeast Michigan if we turn and revise our visa laws to permit this more easily. Our immigration laws aren't really attuned to the needs of the 21st century. They were designed in 1990, and the provisions that permit skilled immigrants to the U.S. are being interpreted in a very restrictive manner. There are also quotas on the numbers of highly skilled workers that we can bring to supplement our workforce. Look at even the graduates from our institutions, the University of Michigan, Michigan State, other fine institutions, where a very high number of the PhDs in the sciences, technology, and engineering and math are foreign nationals here in Michigan. We would like to retain those, but the quotas that we have on visa categories, the opportunities and delays that affect the issuance of green cards so we can keep these people here permanently really serve as a barrier to us retaining this very highly skilled talent that we need. It's ironic that our visa laws permit us to bring in international students who graduate from our fine institutions, but then we have so few visas available to keep them here in the United States. We're essentially educating them and then sending them abroad to compete against us. It just doesn't make any sense for the country, let alone our economy here in Southeast Michigan. It's very interesting that 4 out of the 10 Nobel Prize recipients who are U.S. citizens were foreign nationals who immigrated to the United States at a time where we more easily permitted these individuals to enter and to reside here and to contribute to our economy and our ideas here in the U.S. If we continue to close the doors on these people, these prospective Nobel Prize winners will be going abroad. Well, there are several organizations here in Southeast Michigan that actively seek investments from abroad, sending trade missions, providing seed money for high-tech companies, biochem companies. These organizations really need to get together and form a coalition, and perhaps with other government support, to form a regional center here to attract the kind of entrepreneurs and investors that we need for Southeast Michigan. There is a program, the Regional Center Program, under our immigration laws, which can permit these groups to band together and to provide investment opportunities for individuals that come from abroad, bring their capital, bring their ideas to benefit our region. And the investment can also provide them with a means to stay here as permanent residents of the U.S. This is a very active program. There are many states that are very involved in it now, from Alabama to California to New York to Illinois. Michigan really needs to step into the ring with these other organizations to attract these investments. I think the historic cycle of immigration has been one where the doors open when we need foreign workers, and then when the economy starts to sour, we often turn to those same foreign workers we invited in and said they're no longer welcome. Just as the current recession is really the worst since the Depression, we see the closing of the immigration doors to be more severe. It's in part a reaction, certainly, to the southern border and the sieve of the border there permits hundreds of thousands of people to cross illegally. But the efforts to close that border have been very significant, so that the flow is slowing down, although the flow is also slowing down in great part because of the slowed economy. But just the same, this has led to an overreaction, and this is certainly touted by Lou Dobbs and other media who are restrictionists, who promote closing the doors to America. But we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater when we close those doors, because we're restricting investment, we're restricting the access to highly skilled workers, and we're telling people that the U.S. is not a place to land your business. It's interesting that Detroit does not have a reputation for being a very diverse urban community, and in fact it is. Look at the Indian community that has developed here. You could say that in part that may have started from the need for engineers, many of the highly educated engineers, mathematicians that India turns out, and they came here to work for the auto industry, but they also branched out into technologies. It's not unusual to speak with a very successful Indian businessman here, or Indo-Asian businessman here in southeast Michigan, who may have originally been an engineer, but now runs a technology company, an engineering consulting firm, or other firm. It's a terrific community that they've developed here. And there are other communities as well. If we look at the Chaldeans, very entrepreneurial, business-driven community, very tight-formed, but very generous through southeast Michigan. They've created who knows how many of jobs with their business entities. Beyond the Chaldeans and the Indians, there's a Chinese community forming, to some extent a Japanese community as well. But it's just part of the overall diversity of our economy and of southeast Michigan that a lot of people overlook. I would recommend that Michigan look very closely at developing really a comprehensive program to attract immigrants to Michigan. There are many articles, including those from Crane's Detroit Business, the Free Press, who over the years have pointed to immigrants as an economic force that helps develop communities. And so Michigan should look at establishing a regional investment center under the Alien Entrepreneur Investor Program. It should look at supporting policies in Congress that open the doors to skilled immigrants, as well as free trade agreements that also promote investment into the United States. If Michigan aligns itself to attract immigrants, that should be of real benefit to the industries that need highly skilled workers, whether it's technology, biochem, our universities, our research centers, as well as, of course, the automotive industry to create those new technologies, to bring out great product, and also to engage in environmental friendly technologies. I think Michigan is behind many other states in looking at capitalizing on the immigrants who want to come here. We have many foreign students from our own institutions who would rather stay in Michigan than go elsewhere if possible. They recognize that Michigan provides a great lifestyle and it's a beautiful place to live. It's the California of the Midwest. But if they can't have visas to stay here, then they are unable to, and will go and compete against us, whether it's in India or China or in California or New York. So Michigan really needs to wake up and embrace the immigrant community. Well, of course, no state can create a visa law, but what they can do is take advantage of the existing laws and establish regional investment centers to attract alien investors. These investors bring in millions of dollars, they create jobs, and those regional centers are working pretty well. We're at a time in our nation and in our state, and certainly in southeast Michigan, where we have to search for anything to benefit the economy here. One of those things we can look towards are immigrants. They can be a driving economic force. They provide investment, they create businesses, they create jobs, and to overlook that would be really sad for Michigan. It's a time that we should really take advantage of the opportunities available, and as part of our regional cooperation we're trying to develop regional cooperation on an immigration policy and be supportive rather than standing by and let others pass us.